It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good, bruv. Results like this are going to see the manager off. And I don't think he's to blame tonight. I actually think that... I think the players took it too casual. There was fuck all wrong with that starting 11 tonight. It's... what? Delict. And then your opinion in midfield away from being probably our strongest, currently fit starting 11. There wasn't heavy rotation. There was no kids. We didn't have a second goalkeeper in net. There wasn't some fucking child up front. It was a very strong Manchester United side. And it set up okay. There was times where we was clearly just allowing Twente to have the ball because they weren't really penetrating and they weren't really hurting us, especially in the first half. And there were times when we took the ball and we lived in their half of it and we moved it left to right, nice. And in the first half, we looked nice. Fucking Eriksen's absolutely twatted that ball. Nice. He's hit it nice. He's hit it very, very nice. He might never have hit a ball as well in his fucking life, actually. Brilliant goal. And Marcus is pulling the whole repertoire of the bag of tricks of the Ryan Hopper 101 out of the bag. He's fucking flip-flopping through defenders' legs, and he's just pulling a whole array of trickery out. Looks like he's playing with confidence. Massive, that, for a forward player. He was very direct, didn't mess about with it. Probably still overplaying a little bit when he comes to do the playmaking stuff. I don't want him doing that. I don't need him doing that. I would rather he just gets after it, do you know what I mean? But he also got after it. He was getting into the box. He was getting into good areas. He was flashing the ball sort of across that corridor of uncertainty a little bit, and there wasn't really anybody kind of getting on it. It was a real nice one that he played to Xerxes at one point where you're like, all right, I'm just checking. I'm in the... No, it's all right. It's going around me. I'm in... he's played it to Xerxes, and Xerxes kind of controlled it with his back to goal, not being able to spin and get a shot off. And you're like... But I wasn't worried at the time because I was thinking, it's happening. We're cooking. We look good. We look nice. Ahmad's dancing through his opposite number. And we're playing good football. We look nice. But then, second half again. I felt like we were a bit too casual with it. Like, we didn't play with the urgency that you need to get that second goal and get the game dealt with and killed. We didn't do that. And we really needed to get that second goal. 1-0 was never going to be enough. And even though Twente didn't really threaten with a whole lot throughout any sustained period of the game, it was... I mean, the manner of the goal we conceded was extremely casual. But it was a consequence of overly being, like, casual. Like, there was no urgency in United. Now, obviously, we got the full debut there of Ugarte. He wasn't great with the ball. Not really a shot there. But there was a couple of times he was sloppy with the ball rather than just not being great with it. But he is all action, blood and thunder. He will tackle anything, anywhere. And I think we need that. Eriksen was... with the ball almost flawless. I think he had a hand in there. Obviously, I only saw the goal live, so I got to see what exactly crumbled with the goal because it felt far too easy to get through. So I don't know if Eriksen ended up losing it or I don't know. Xerxes didn't look like he was as involved as he has been. Don't know if he was playing with a Dutch team that knows him a little bit, maybe. Something like that. But I think Bruno didn't have the sort of performance where he's going to silence any critics. Didn't have the sort of performance that you kind of want from him. Being productive, being in control. Just didn't... It didn't happen for him, and there was a couple of times where he was just poor. Like, he lost it in some areas that immediately led to counters, some real dangerous areas that led to counters against us, and you just think there's a lot of noise around him at the moment, as people are trying to find out what's quite not singing with this United side. Yes, the goals is a thing, but you're like, okay, Bruno gets away with some of the low quality passing performances because he creates chances. If he's having low quality passes and he's having low quality pass completion outputs, then, and not creating, there's problems. Is he justifying his role in the team otherwise? I don't want it to make it a big thing, and certainly, you know, this isn't any sort of witch hunt on Bruno. Some people are just too thick to have intelligent conversations with. But when I look at what's going on with that team at the moment, it's hard to look beyond him and the forward line. The forward line in general are not scoring chances. There was chances created tonight. We didn't score enough of them. Did Bruno make one chance? I don't think he had a key pass. There's a massive decision has to be made with Bruno. And I think what we have seen with the manager is he will bench players when he's got the options. Right now, he has the options. As Mason Mount comes back into fitness, as Højlund comes back into fitness, even as Eriksen's putting in these extremely controlling performances, he's going to start to have the options to be able to go, listen, Bruno, I don't think Bruno's a bad player at all. I think his ability to score goals and his ability to create is a massive asset for United. I think he probably just needs a rest. And I know it's extremely simplistic to say, he just needs a rest, does he? Well, yeah, because we've seen this guy perform at the highest of high levels. The only question that I've got about whether it isn't a rest and it's something else is this is the most structured Manchester United side that we've seen. There is a definite structure to how this team plays. Previously, Manchester United in the Bruno Fernandes era has been fucking chaos. Maybe he's a guy that thrives in the chaos and isn't a system player. That's also possible. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I'll do 5 things in the player ratings and all that jazz tomorrow. Have a good night. See you in a bit.